Hey everyone, I'm doing a little bit of an update video here. This is not my normal $1,000 strap search. I'll be filming that either later today or tomorrow. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update. I finally got my scope. My scope came in the mail, figured out how to get it hooked up, so I will be using that a little more as I show some of my coins and stuff. So I'll get that out of the way. Another part of the update I wanted to bring in is every week you guys see me go through all kinds of star notes. You see me find tons and tons and tons of stars. These are all the stars I found over the last 10, 12, 15 videos. And I finally went through and checked their serial numbers. And of all of these star notes, I mean, there is probably 100 of them here. Of these 100 star notes, only 2 of them were less than were runs that were 3.2 million. All of these were runs of 3.2 million, except these 2 notes right here. These 2 star notes were both out of a run of 640,000. So 640,000, fairly short printed run. But like I said, when you consider the $20 there, when you consider all of these singles, all star notes, all stuff I've pulled in previous videos, only 2 were actually from short runs. That gives you an idea of how many bills you have to go through to find some of these short runs, and when you do find a short run, how valuable they can be. I did put one on eBay, and that short one was out of 250,000, and that particular one I finally sold. It sold for 20 bucks. I was happy to get 20 bucks because I paid $1 for it, and it's not really something that I personally collect, short run star notes, but there's a collector for everything, and I was more than happy to make sure that the person who wanted it got it. Now, I decided that when I was at my coin shop last, I was going to pick up one of these. This is a bag of wheat pennies. There are 5,000 wheat pennies in here, which isn't true. I started to go through them because when I bought the pennies, the guy told me, well, they're probably mostly 40s and 50s. Some of the bags have some stuff that may be a little bit older, but for the most part, you're buying 1940s, 1950s wheat pennies. My thought was I would go through and I would be able to update my collection with some of the nicer ones, put a roll of each away, and then he buys them back at 3 cents per or something like that. So I figured if I buy a bag or 2, I can take everything I want and then sell back the rest. So I started going through this bag, and my thought process was, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of the 1950s into one, all of the 40s in another, and I'm going to pull out any coins that still had a little bit of the cherry, the shine on there. Just that way it would be the first run through, my first quick run through, 40s in one, 50s in the other, and anything that I might find interesting there. Well, as it turns out, in the first handful that I grabbed, as you can see, I've got stuff sorted here. These were all the 1939s. 38s, 37s, 36s, 35s, 34s. These are all 1930s. I ended up getting a bag that had numerous coins from older years. They weren't all 40s and 50s like I had thought. I got lucky and I got one of his unsearched bags. Well, what does that mean? Let me show you some of the stuff that I found. And you saw that bag. I have not gone through the rest of that bag. I have only gone through what is sitting on the table there. So let me just adjust this real quick so that you guys can see. There we go. All right, so now you'll be able to see my camera. Let's see. I found a couple of these. 1919. Get that on there real good. $19.19 wheatie right there. I found a number of pennies that were in good shape. When I got excited was when I spotted a 19. Let me flip this around so I can do that. There's a 1910. And what really got me excited was when I spotted this one. That one says 1909. Too bad there's not an S on there. When I flip that one over, let's get that turned the right way. I hope that shows up on the camera. A 1909 VDB penny found out of that box. Not out of that box, out of that wheat penny bag. 1909 VDB, even in horrible shape, those go for $15 a piece. That was just one, and you saw how many pennies were still left in that bag. So for me to come across a 1909 VDB out of that bag, I can't wait to go digging through the rest. Some of the other stuff, I guess I shouldn't have jumped right away to the good one, but I did find, what is this, a 1951 Canadian penny? 51 Canadian. There we go. That's front of that is a little rough, but I mean, usually you're seeing Elizabeth on 51. I knew that that was an old one. Found quite a few oldies like that. So anyway, that's the stuff that I ended up coming up with so far out of this bag. And like I said, to see a 1909 VDB, that was a great find for me. All right, guys, I'm going to finish going through this bag. Hopefully I'll have more stuff to show you. I was expecting all 40s and 50s. Instead, I got something like that, 1909. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you learned anything new this week, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see, I'll be bringing out more paper starting tomorrow. Don't worry. I have not changed over to coins. I'll be doing more paper tomorrow. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.